Hello, welcome. Today what we're going to be doing is a very simple recipe. All that you need is going to be 1 cup of oats and 2 bananas. What we're going to be making today are called oatmeal banana bites, and they're very simple to make and very healthy too. So before we get started, all you're going to need as far as equipment is going to be just a bowl and a fork. And we are going to be baking these, so you're going to need a baking sheet and then of course a spatula to be able to get the bites off the sheet when we're done. Today we're going to be using the old-fashioned oats, so I am going to allow the oats to sit with the banana for a little bit so that it can get rehydrated. But you can use quick oats if that's what you have at home, and you won't need to wait. So all we're gonna do is super easy. I've already washed the bananas, and all you do is you wanna be able to put the bananas into small pieces in here, just to make it easier for when you mash up the bananas. This is a very simple recipe that you could do with your children. You can have them be part of the process. I'm pretty sure they're gonna enjoy the little bites if they had a part to play. So here we go. This is all we're gonna do. We're gonna mash up the bananas, right? It will help if you have bananas that are a little bit softer or tender. That's gonna be great. These are not that tender, but they're gonna be just fine. What we wanna do first is mash up the bananas, and then we're gonna add the oats in here, okay? So really nothing to it. If you wanted to add something to treat yourself today, we're gonna be using some dried cranberries and some chocolate chips, but you don't have to do that. If you don't have the chocolate chips and you just have some dried cranberries, that'll do just fine. So I think you can clearly see that I've just mushed the bananas. It doesn't need to be really mushed. That's fine. Little bits of the banana taste delicious. So we add the cup of oats, and we want to make sure we mix everything together. So what we're going to be doing with these little oatmeal banana bites is we're going to be baking them in a 350-degree oven for 15 minutes. So that in itself is pretty easy to remember. 1 cup of oats, 2 bananas, 350 degrees, 15 minutes. Super easy. So what you want to do here is just make sure that everything is nice and combined, right? I did mention that I am using the old-fashioned oats, so I am going to have to let this sit for a little bit just so that the oats can absorb the moisture from the bananas. So we're going to allow that to happen for just a little bit, even if it's just a couple of minutes. So we will be right back and move on to the next step, okay? All right, so we have allowed the mixture of the oats and the bananas, right, to hang out with each other for a little bit so that the oats can absorb the moisture from the bananas. So, you know, that's what it should look like, really. So now is the time to add the dried cranberries, and I'm just using a 1/4 cup of dried cranberries. And if you have the chocolate chips, just sprinkle a few of these chocolate chips in here. That's for a special treat. And you want to make sure you just mix everything all together. And it's a gentle mixture. You don't have to do much more than that. Okay, so here is the mixture that you're going to use to create these little oatmeal banana bites. Right, so you can see the mixture. And the next step is just to grab a spoon, and you are going to form these bite-sized bites as small or as big as you want to have them, okay? So What you want to remember is that the batter or this mixture is not going to expand in the oven, so whatever you form, that's the size that you're going to get at the end, okay? So totally up to you if you can make them. If you want to make them smaller, you can. If you want to make them bigger, you can. If I make them about this size, typically it'll yield at least 10 to 12 of these little bites. But it just depends how lucky we were today to get a dozen of these. So that's all you do. You form these with the help of a spoon and your hands. Always make sure that you wash your hands before you start preparing a recipe at home. Today I'm using gloves, but I know that you at home will make sure that you wash your hands first before putting all of this together. Of course, that's also a perfect opportunity to teach your children to wash their hands. If they want to help out to create these delicious cookies, they're going to need to wash their hands. All right, so we were able to get a dozen of these bite-sized, cookies or healthy bites. What you also have to keep in mind is that you don't have to worry that you undercook or really overcook these, because you could potentially eat this as soon as you're done making it, because it's just oats and cranberries and chocolate chips, right? So you don't have to worry about anything else. Here you can see the 12. So all we need to do now is bake it in a 350-degree oven for 15 minutes. And that's it. We'll be back to show you the results and taste it. All right, so we have taken these out of the oven and we've allowed them to cool, and they're ready to eat. So let's try one. So you see, they are soft. They do have a little bite to them. These are so good. You have to try these. You have to have these. And the wonderful thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, if you were not to share these cookies with anyone and you ate the whole batch yourself, you really would have only eaten a cup of oats and 2 bananas. So, but we of course encourage you to share. Please share. But you're gonna love these. Try them. Thank you.